Praise the Lord, everyone. We want to go ahead and get started. Sister Bess, can you lead us in prayer? She may not be on there. Sister Sonia, can you lead us in prayer?
Yeah, okay. You ready? First of all, God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to come before you again for this 100th celebration. Lord, let us all be on one accord. Bring it all together. Bring our minds and our hearts all together. Let the service be unto you. And we thank you, God. We love you and we adore you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So just kind of recap on some of the things we talked about last week, and then we'll move forward for the third quarter. For those who couldn't attend last week, we recapped the second quarter and just gave some feedback on things that we liked, some things that we could have did better, and some things that we want to take into the third quarter. So that's what we did last week. We also talked about different ways of promoting the historical part of the event. I'm not going to do too much of that because I think Sharon is trying to get on and Sweet Pea because I want to hear from them since they had a part of it, or pretty much was the overseers over it. So for the third quarter, we talked about what do we want to do on that Saturday and that Sunday. And one of the things that, we're still open for suggestions, but one of the things that I did talk about and people were good with it, but I want to come back and give feedback about it as well, is doing some kind of community event on that Saturday, or some kind of partnering with some kind of agency to do some kind of day of outreach. So we thought about I was thinking about two different agencies. And the first one was Renewal House, which I think is like 5 minutes or so from the church. I did reach out to them last week, Tuesday. And when I reached out to them, they were saying, because it's a recovery community and confidentiality, that may not be a good thing for them because of the ladies they're there, and they want their trust and things like that, which I totally understand. I did reach out to Family and Children's Services. I actually talked to the lady today. That was one of the ones that when I was over Annual Day in 2019, we did for relatives that are caring for a child, for that child won't enter custody. So I did reach out to the lady today about that, and they actually already have an event planned for that day that we want to do it, which is September the 10th. So with that being said, we're kind of back at the drawing board again. I did talk to someone earlier today to see if they were aware of maybe some agencies that we can partner with. What I'm finding out talking to some of these agencies is, one, with COVID, they're very, they're open to it, but it's just the fact of having those guests maybe going back and spreading it with others. So I totally get that. Or like the other agency said, we're open to it, we can advertise it, but like transportation, we can't do that because of COVID and being close together. So I wanted to open it up, and like I said, if more people come to see if there's an agency that you do have in mind that we could maybe partner with as a day of outreach and giving back, or do we want to change it and do something else on that Saturday? So for the ones that are on here, I don't know if you had time to think about it or know of an agency that is open to us partnering with them. So I just want to open up the floor with that right now. Or any suggestions on what we can do for that Saturday. The other thing that I did think of is if we don't get an agency, because the third quarter is September the 10th and the 11th. And if we don't get, and that's about 6 weeks away. So if we don't get an agency, I'm thinking we need to probably finalize that agency part by next week to give us a good 5 weeks. If we don't do that, maybe thinking of maybe having a 30-day, like August the 8th through September the 8th, of maybe a donation drive to some of these agencies, and then stuff boxes and then deliver it to them on that day. That's another option. That's like a backup plan. But like I said, I'm open to suggestions of anything that anyone have about what we can do on that Saturday.
I think that would be good as far as dropping things off to the agencies, since it's hard to really get an appointment to go in because of COVID. I think it'd be good to drop those items off. I know we went to the ministers and missionaries went to No's home assisted living, and they were very receptive to us being there as well. So that would be another option as well. Maybe just go to an assisted living place if they're taking them in there. I know No's place did, and they're excited about us trying to come back again. So
What
that may be
donations?
like,
What donations did you take?
I think let's see, what did we take? Oh, because Sister Bush put the bags together. Sister Bess, do you know what I was in those bags? It's a
I
gift
know what
bag.
was in them. It was like Kleenex, hand sanitizer,
Okay,
stuff like that, and back scratchers, a flashlight, stuff like that.
stuff
They
like
had
that.
a journal, ink
Yeah,
pen,
journal. Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I do know I can also check, with the renewal house down there, like what is some of the needs? Because some of the places I've been calling, their needs are really more of cleaning supplies and things like that.
Mhm.
So, as a church, I know they have like those tall boxes, and then maybe on Sundays having them out and people bring their donations. And then on the 10th, we come early enough, pack the boxes, and then deliver to one or two agencies or something like that. Like I said, that's just another one. That's a backup plan that I was just thinking about today because the other ones didn't go through. But like I said, I'm open to what we can do on that Saturday.
Yeah, the renewal houses, that would be good too. That's not too far from the church.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, Sister Karen Crook was saying last week, since we were focusing on Elder Harris, like what was his goal and mission? And I think she did say it was the youth and the elderly. So maybe, in honor of him, maybe picking one or two of those agencies and then do the donations like that for the 30 days. So,
I think that would be good.
yeah. Praise the Lord, Sister Shatika. I was gonna call you Sweetie. So that's a backup plan we can always do. And so I will check with, hopefully, by next Monday, we can finalize that. The other thing, I was talking to Sister Bush last week. We were saying, how do we get the historical part out there? And I think one of the suggestions somebody was saying about the council part. So I was talking to Sister Bush, and she is supposed to be getting with the council, to the planning board with the council, to see if we could have a part in it. I did mention to her before that's something finalized. I want to bring it back to the group because we still got to figure out the details on who's going to actually do it. So hopefully within the next week or so, she can let me know on that. The other part, I thought Dr. Crook would be on here, but I don't know. We talked about, I'm gonna share my screen because we talked about more of making sure we advertise more. So I'm thinking once we get whatever we're doing, these are half sheets of paper, and we start handing them out on Sundays, because I know one of the things somebody was saying too last week was making sure we also announce about the third quarter obligations. So this will at least start going out hopefully the first or second week in August. And just putting it out there and letting people know this is what's going on, this is what we're doing. And then just remember their third quarter obligations. And we'll put them on color pieces of paper and things like that. So any feedback on this or something we need to change on here?
That's nice.
Yeah, because when I was doing it before, we used to always remind people.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking, hand them out like August the 7th, August the 21st, and then September the 4th. And we'll
Mhm.
have it on color pieces of paper for people to have. And when they walk in and on the lawn, they can receive one of these to hopefully remind them. I think another thing that we also talked about last week is we talked about making sure we get the word out, which we talked about all the different ways of getting the word out, but I think if we finalize whatever our plans are, we could start promoting it in the e-newsletter, even though some get it, some don't, some read it, some don't, but at least it's going out there. And then making sure Sister Fuller announced it, at least 3-4 weeks ahead of time. So I think if we can finalize what we're doing, then we can pretty much go from there. I was trying to think of what else we talked about last week. I kind of looked at the minutes. Do you remember anything right off, Sister Morrison, that I'm missing?
I think we were really trying to find out where it's going to be. Are we going to be at Young's Lane, or are we going to be at the House of God?
On that Sunday?
Yeah, I think that's Sunday, because I think that
Okay.
Saturday everything will be at the campus, but that Sunday was still
Okay.
yet to be decided upon.
Okay. Now that we have Sister Sharon and Sister Shatika, can you guys give us like a recap of second quarter with the historical part? What are your thoughts on that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What do you mean? My thoughts on it. We did the presentation that Saturday during the outing that we had. It was a time. It was a time set aside for people to come in as a part of the scheduled activities, and the room was full. That's all I can tell
Oh,
you.
it was. Okay.
And then we did a brief presentation that Sunday afternoon on the yard during that afternoon service.
Okay. So it was a lot of people that came in on that Saturday?
Quite a few, yes, that was there. For those that were in attendance at that activity, it was a good representation that came inside.
Okay, that's good to know, because when we talked last week, I don't know if people thought that others came in there. And so we started talking about other ways to get people to see it.
Now, it's been advertised quite a bit. The first half where it was and what happened there. So that's why we were trying to make this one really open to everybody that had wanted to come in. So it was a matter of those that wanted to be there came in.
Yeah,
so it's not available. It's just that, people decide what they want to do. That's their choice.
Yeah. And that's what we talked about last week too. We can't force people to come and do things, if they want to do it, they'll do it. But like I said, I know you guys were both over it. So I just wanted to see what the participation was with people coming in there, or is there another way to get the word out?
And we're not necessarily over it. We're just kind of like working. There's a whole team behind it. So.
Okay. And so do you feel like there's another way we can get it out, or it was fine the way it was?
I mean, that works for that particular activity. It just depends on, what you have going on, lead up to that. As far as it being, people being aware that it was being done, it was given out during the announcement that was going to be a part of it, but,
Okay, that's good. Okay. And then what we were just talking about is any ideas for that Saturday event. Last week we talked about, first of all, if there was any suggestions, and then the other thing we talked about is doing an outreach to maybe agency in the community. So I didn't know if either one of you had any suggestions about that, or your thoughts on what we could do on that Saturday.
I've just been listening to what you all was saying, and I came in kind of late, so I wasn't aware of everything that was said. So right now I don't have any.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I just want to make sure I put it out there to everyone to see if you had any suggestions, because like you said, this is a group effort. So never, this is not a solo thing. And so we're just trying to do it together, and just want to make sure everybody have a chance to say what they would like to do, and then we'll just do it from there. Anyone else have any suggestions for that Saturday?
Praise the Lord to everybody.
Praise the Lord.
I just want to say, what are some of the suggestions that was made the last meeting? Have y'all recapped that?
I can do it. Yeah, but no problem. Okay. We just talked about different agencies in the community, like the one I did mention is Renewal House. But I went out to them and they said, because it's a recovery community, the privacy of the ladies there is probably not a good thing. And then also with COVID, I did also check with Family and Children Services like we did before, and they already have an event scheduled for that day. And so those are the two that I did check in with. I think a lot of people are hesitant because of COVID too. So they probably can promote it, but they can't help with the transportation part.
When you say in transportation, what you mean, having people to come out?
Yeah, so like with Family and Children Services, they actually had a bus and they brought the people.
Okay.
So yeah, that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was saying earlier, if we're unable to do that, which we'll probably have to finalize by next week, maybe doing a donation drive where we pick an agency in mind and see what their needs are. And just, throughout that month of August, have people donate something and then come in on that Saturday, box it up, and then take it to that agency.
Okay, my computer is acting up. And so you all froze a while ago, and I didn't hear everything you said.
Oh, that's fine.
I gotta get some help with this thing. Okay, so you was checking with the agency that would pick people up and bring to the event. That's what you were doing, right?
Yeah, we're open to any agency. It was just, that's what they did the last time. And they also have something planned on that day. I mean, if you have one in mind or one that you worked with that are open to partnering with the church on that Saturday, we can always connect with them and see if that's something they are open to doing.
Okay, so what's gonna happen? I guess my question is, what's actually gonna happen that Saturday? What kind of program, or what kind of, is that what we're working on now? Or do you already have something in mind to do that Saturday and we helping you, or what?
No, that's what we're working on now. That's
Okay.
what the suggestions are for.
Okay, so we really haven't got anything down yet for Saturday. That's what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
And that's what, I'm opening up the floor for, is to see what people may have as for suggestions. Because we talked about last week, we want to honor Elder Harris and what was some of the things that, he had a passion for. And I mean, you may know better than, you know, anybody else or may know, which they talked about the youth, and I think they talked about the elderly. So what can we do as an outreach for one of those groups?
Oh, okay.
Do we still have the um the senior saints luncheon where we take them out to eat? I think we should maybe cater to them on that day. Maybe have a luncheon for the senior saints, seasoned saints or whatever.
You
Or
one of them.
huh?
You one of them.
I'm
Okay.
not
I'm
one
just kidding.
yet.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like Bishop, I ain't one yet.
Oh yeah, you are. He is too.
I know he is.
Was that under, what was that?
Huh?
Was that under, what auxiliary was that under? I can't remember.
Sisterhood.
Sisterhood.
Sisterhood, yeah, did a lot.
So you on the line?
Yeah, Sonia's there.
But you still have a lot of seniors that not willing to come out.
Come out. That's gonna be my next thing too.
Amen.
It's gonna be hard to get them out.
Amen.
They
Yeah, because we have to take
yeah.
into consideration COVID too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're not coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
reason why they're not gonna come. So that's a good suggestion, but they're
Let's
not
go
gonna
for the
come.
teenagers, and then since we got them participating in stuff more, we could have something, you know, to show our appreciation for them and the stuff that they do.
What group did you say, Sister Bess?
Teenagers.
The teenagers?
Uh-huh.
So do you mean the youth?
The youth, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we tried that the last time, right?
What? I don't know.
That's what we were doing the last time, right, Sharon?
What's that song?
The event we had the last time. When that for the
What?
youth.
Well, it catered, yeah, they
And
had stuff activities for them.
Not
Yeah,
really. It was for church in general,
Well, it's for everybody,
which
but
included everybody.
yeah, it was for everybody, but the youth was included, which we didn't do what we supposed to have done.
yeah.
So if you're gonna do it again, maybe we get to do what we wanted to do that time that we didn't get to do this the last time.
So
And they
what,
had no activity. They really, the only thing they did was playing those games and the sack race and those kind of activities, but no jump, no what you call them things, balls, the blow up thing. They
Bouncy
play
house.
bouncy house. They had none of that.
so you're talking about just a outdoor event for the youth? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
I
well,
just was trying to.
Not for just the youth. It can't be just for the youth.
Huh?
It can't be just for the youth. I mean, we only have a handful. And then we have the little kids. So it has to be for everybody. I mean,
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
when we say youth, I guess we're talking about from that, little teenagers, the whole
I
thing.
just thought we would get, try to come up with something that would interest more youth to come in if they could, but we don't have any way to reach them right now with the summer being summer. Even the ones in the neighborhood, how will we let them know that we're having anything? Not just the people of the church, we want to get things out so we draw people. You know what I'm saying?
Sister
We
Moore
can-
said, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we could maybe an activity, something for the school. Maybe we can adopt the school, Haynes School, maybe adopt them, and maybe whatever we can do, taking supplies, whatever, to them on a Saturday, or have something special for that school, and that would bring them to the church. And have some type of activities for them. Just say, this is a special day, appreciating you all. We are partnering with, since that was an outreach that Elder Harris had, especially with the youth, maybe that would be a form of outreach to bring them in, on our campus, and let them see the teachers and all of them, where they could say that we just showing appreciation, as well as encouraging the students during that time. Let them know that we're there for them. We're praying for them. You know, kind of like an adopt a school type thing for that particular day. I know Sister Nakita, I think it's the youth, they are having a back to school bash. And that's going to be in August. I think that is an activity through the ministers and missionaries. And she's got that month of August. They're doing a back to school bash. So they're giving away backpacks and all that kind of stuff. But to come and just enjoy times and fun and activities to bring them in. And even with our youth being there, they can kind of help, you know, maybe fellowship with them and, you know, and the teachers and all of that, to let them know that we're there as a support. You know, this is our anniversary, and our former pastor during that era, he was about youth in involvement and things like that, if I'm saying it right. So maybe just adopt that school. But then the thing about adopting that school, you have to continue
I know.
to be in touch with them, maybe once a month. Maybe we or even the missionaries can take that up and maybe go in maybe one day and just walk the halls and pray, or some kind of way we can show appreciate, maybe have an appreciation for one of the teachers 1 month, and just different things like that that we can do as we adopt that school.
Also, Sister Kathy, the school right next door from us, it's a school right next door.
Yeah, that's Seventh-day Adventist school.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I know the school next door.
Yeah, Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
That's their property, the Riverside School. That's their.
No, it's
that's
the
their
one on
school.
the other side.
What's the name of that school?
It's a
It's a private school.
Jenkins.
Probably
Jenkins.
yeah.
Jenkins.
Jenkins. That's a Seventh-day Adventist
FS
school.
Jenkins, that's right. Yeah.
Is that a
FS Jenkins,
7-day
right.
event? Okay, I didn't know that.
That's their school.
Yeah, FS Jenkins,
Oh,
right.
okay.
I just know it was school next door. You know, you
I didn't
mentioned the
even
one
know
on
that.
Trinity
Okay.
Lane.
Uh-huh.
I know it's one right next door, so I didn't know if we could
That's their
kind
school.
of partner up with them or whatever. But anyway,
I didn't know
that
that.
sounds
Okay.
good.
I think the thing about that with the Haynes Middle, like you said, if we're gonna adopt it before we do it on that Saturday, we have to figure out who's gonna keep doing it. Like when you say you're gonna adopt, you know, they're gonna be looking for that, and then keep doing it, what that's gonna look like. Because many times you'll probably have to do it Monday through Friday when school is in. So, I mean, our event we can do on a Saturday, and they can do flyers and send home. But I think the adopting part throughout the school year probably gonna have to be a Monday through Friday. So it's trying to figure out if the missionaries have the availability to do stuff Monday through Friday.
You don't really have to do it every month. You can let them know up front that maybe 3 times a year or 4 times a year we will be doing something and coming in, and that way you don't strain yourself.
Right.
You know, we good at starting and stopping stuff.
Yeah.
So if you don't do it that every month, it's going to be, I think, too big of an obligation for us right now.
Right.
But if you let them know up front, maybe 2 times a year or 3 times, however many times we choose, that we will be coming in doing something, if it's okay, you know. And with the school shootings and stuff, you know, they're going to be leery of a lot of people coming in. So you're going to probably have a specific group that's going to be able to go in at first anyway.
Yeah, with COVID, I don't know if they letting a lot of people in there with that too.
Right.
But whatever you do, you're gonna have to do more handing out information, not really per se going in and doing activities, but maybe, I don't know, bags. I don't know, just something like more like that, and then you go get in, you know, and it's coming from, you know, Qrtr Christ Temple Church. We can have our information in bag or whatever, backpack or whatever you're gonna take. Do something like that, you know.
And you wouldn't want to just limit it to missionary, because that could be a church-wide thing, because look at all the auxiliaries that you have.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, when you say just missionary, then a lot of people don't listen anymore to what else is going on with it. You know, because when I was having my outreach with first responders, being that it was missionary, the others didn't want to participate. I'm not missionary, and they would keep walking, So you wouldn't, I don't think it would be, right for the rest of them for us to just say missionary. Because then, you're not including the whole church.
So how many auxiliaries do we have?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Well,
Why we can't pardon it? Why we can't pardon them?
You got merit.
What's the number? 10, 12?
I'm just saying, yeah.
If we're
go
gonna
ahead,
do it
Sonia.
3 times a year, take 3 auxiliaries for the first half,
Yeah.
3 for the next half, and 3 for the end, like that, and be done.
Or if you go 4 times a year, at least
Yeah.
if you got 12, you put 3 part
Yeah.
them like that, part an auxiliary together.
I think the thing is though, is like, you guys already know who's gonna be do it to get the people to do it. Like, you see what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm over third quarter.
I understand what you're saying.
I know I'm under
Somebody needs to
third.
take charge. Somebody needs to be, the spokesperson for that project. That's
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh.
And all of
Then
this,
that needs to start in.
but you're on a time
right?
constraint too.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
If it's talking for our 100-year celebration, you're working with a time constraint. And I don't know actually when they're going to go back into the schools to even meet with somebody from that school to get that set up.
Right.
So you have to really look at all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That
I mean,
is
because
Good idea. I like that though. That's really
it's a
good.
thought, yeah.
yeah,
Maybe.
because they go back August the 8th. And I mean,
Right.
that's already 3 weeks away from when we're trying to do this on the 10th. Because third quarter is the September the 10th and the 11th.
Yeah.
So Stacy, wouldn't it start with the board, taking it to the board and letting all the auxiliaries know, this is what we're gonna do? We want to do.
Right. But I think this is the thing though. We have to connect with the school to see if we can do it.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, what I'm saying after that.
Board, and then the board, see, the board meets next week, Tuesday, and the school don't go back to the 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
And
would
then
be
the third quarter is
tight.
September the 10th. So we're missing those dates.
That would be
Just
tight.
let them know that's what we're trying to work toward. I mean, the board, not just the schools yet.
Mhm.
You see what I'm
We
saying?
can't do anything without approval. So we know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
That's your
Just
first
bring it
stop.
to them, just to let them know. So it won't be anything, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but usually what I try to do is even see if that's an option with that school or that
Yeah.
place before I even take it to the board. Like the 2
Yeah.
places that I had talked about last week, I always tell them it's not a guarantee. Is this just something we can do? And then once our board meet, I'll give you the okay that we can do it. Because just like those 2 that I thought I was gonna do, I mean, confidentiality and then already having something planned, then it didn't go through. So I really don't want to take something, to the board, definitely. And I haven't even checked with the people because they may say COVID, no, or the shootings, no. And then,
Right.
then we can't even, the board is thinking we're doing this thing and then we're trying to do something else.
It makes sense,
What-
yeah. Because you're covering your bases before you take it there. Because other than that, it's premature.
Right.
If we take it before time.
I mean, all else fails. I mean, I know we still have to plan for the fourth quarter. It may be a holiday thing for Haynes Middle School. That'll give enough time for that.
Mhm.
Haynes Middle School, what's that, 5th, 6th? What grade is that? Is that 5th, 6th, 7th? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Like, I don't even know what middle school is. So I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it's
they
5th
change
through
things
8th.
so yeah.
I know. I think it's 5th through 8th, and then some schools are letting elementary go up to 6th grade. So I don't know what the group is going to be for that.
It's going back to the old way. That's where it used to be.
I know.
So it's going back to the old way. They change it, then they take it back.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good idea. Like I said, I just don't know if we have enough time, and then also if we're going to adopt them, that's a whole school year thing almost. And so that's what that's looking at. I was trying to think of anything else because I've been thinking today, trying to think since the other two didn't go through, of some kind of outreach. I don't know. Sharon, you don't work with no agencies
No, I do not at this time.
at this time? Okay. What, in the future you will be?
Who knows?
Okay. Okay. I mean, and I think next week we're just going to have to make a final something. And like I said, we can always fall back to a month of donations and then just box them up. So if let's go back. So if we do that part, is there a particular agency that, I mean, I know we can do Renewal House. Like I said, that's a recovery community, but I was just trying to focus on Elder Harris and his passion, which I think it was youth and the elderly.
Well, have you thought about some kind of nursing home facility? If the school thing don't pan out?
We can do
Maybe we can
that.
adopt, nursing care, so one of the nursing homes, one of them. I don't know about us doing both, but if the school don't pan out, maybe we can move to that, and they may be more liberal to do something for them. I don't know which one though.
Right.
Trying to get one closer to our community, to where we are.
You know, at this point, I don't know if it really matters. What about, do we have any of our members at one?
What do you call, Sister C, what would you call that, Sister Kathy? Was she on mute, Sister Kathy? Where Sister C live? Any, Sonia, one of y'all. Kathy. Oh Lord, she ain't listening.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, Sonia.
Senior
Okay, is that a resident? What do you call it with Sister Lee?
Okay, what- yeah.
She's close to us.
Huh?
She's close to the church, right? She the closest,
Yeah.
ain't she?
Sister C.
Yeah, the
Okay,
facility she live in.
one of it is senior living. It's a facility for those that, I mean, it's for those that do for themselves.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
She
but
must
I
be
don't know. But
she
see,
must
during the COVID, it may not be open, to go in.
No, I understand that part, but we could always do something and leave it. I'm just saying, you
Oh,
got,
okay.
once that person come in, leave whatever we doing, and then give to the residents, there.
She-
I'm just
okay.
saying.
she must
Oh.
be, she's probably like more in an independent facility
Yeah.
or a high
Yeah.
rise.
Yes,
Where,
Right.
yeah. So I mean, we can
So
always,
Foster is in one on Brick Church on White Bridge
White
Road.
Bridge Road. Mhm.
Oh,
was
she ain't
that?
gonna let you in.
Yeah, they're not gonna,
I know
They
they
definitely
won't
not gonna let
let
you in.
they won't let you in during COVID, but I
Who
mean,
was that?
Sister
Sister Gators.
Beatrice Foster.
I
Yeah, they
mean,
do.
this is the thing, like, we're not trying to go in there.
Right.
We're just
we
trying
just
to
want to
see,
drop something off. Yeah.
we're just trying to see what the needs are of the residents and
Right.
then do a drive during the month of August, having members bring it in, and then maybe early that Saturday come pack the boxes and then deliver it to them. Like, we're not
Right.
trying to actually sing and do all that. We just want to be a blessing to the residents, because this is the thing of what I know. And I mean, I just work with family caregivers where they're already on a fixed income. And so anything that's going to be able to help them, they appreciate it. So it's like, what are their needs? And then we just do a drive, and then on that Saturday, box it up and then take it over there. So we don't really have to go in there. I was just trying to think of, I mean, there's so many those places out there, but I think if we can do a win-win where we can do what Elder Harris, his mission was the elderly, and then go ahead and hit one of our own that is somewhere, then that way, we're doing both of the things. So that's why I asked you about that.
Well, so for example, say you do a blanket drive, I'm just saying,
Right.
and give every resident a blanket.
Mhm.
That's just something that's popping in my head. And that way, and it's from Great Christ Temple Church, they'll know who it's from. It's not that we had to go to an individual room, we just give it to the main people, they can distribute them to where they need to go.
Right.
It doesn't know how many rooms, how many people live there. That's what we need to know. So how many
Right.
blankets we need to get, that kind of thing.
How many residents they have, and
Yeah.
then what we can do is, I mean, once we narrow down whatever the place is gonna be, I can just say, what are some of the needs that they really need?
Right.
And then once we figure that out, we could just start doing this drive during the month of August, having people bring stuff. And then we pack it up on that Saturday and take it over there.
Okay.
Hey, guys, I gotta run. Got another
Okay.
meeting.
Okay.
All right.
So what was the one that you were saying somebody was, I didn't hear the name of the place. I know we was.
I said where Sister Mother C lives, and that's off of Clarksville Highway, right, Sonia?
Yeah, it's called it's Kelly Miller. That's not the name of it.
But because I don't know name of it. I
Is it
just
Kelly?
know.
I think it is.
I think it's called Kelly Miller.
Kelly Miller
Smith.
Smith.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's
Smith.
Okay.
because they have
Kelly
two
Smith.
separate buildings.
Yeah.
And then where Sister Foster lived, it's a full, how many floors? 14?
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah, it's
high
a big place. Yeah.
It's a high
I
rise.
see hers.
We may
Yeah,
need to get the
so-
small one.
I think we
Mother
can start
C is
with
smaller.
one.
We can't do that.
We can start with one.
We'll do one.
Yeah,
We
We'll
press
end
for
up-
time. We only gonna do one.
yeah.
We'll end up filing bankruptcy.
Well, and then we also want to see how it's gonna. We don't want to make it too big, and then people don't
Right,
do it,
right.
and then it's gonna be like so. We want to make sure that it's successful, and then next time if we do something, we can add on another place. But
Right.
we don't want to go too big too fast with only having 6 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
then people.
it's a lot of residents that live where Sister C is. It may not be a stackable high rise, but it's two buildings with 4 floor. One has 4 floors, I think, and one has, I think, 5. So it's
What's the name of? You said Kelly Miller,
I think it's
Kelly
called
Miller
Kelly Miller.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and who's their sister C? So like the Hornbecks to know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call her right now and see what's the name of the building.
It's probably I
I
got
think
it,
it's
Kelly Miller,
Glenn, ain't it?
Smith,
It's something Glenn.
on Cliff Drive.
Oh, they done changed it, Kathy?
Yeah, something Glenn. That's the one over on 28th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one on 28th is something Glenn. I think that's where Brother Oni lived too.
No, not that one. Only's
not
on
that
down.
one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Only's on down. We're talking about the
Yeah.
one behind that used to be a chicken place.
Yeah.
Well,
You
it
did
has
Miss
right
Withers.
here, Kelly Miller Smith Towers, affordable housing, 108 units.
Okay, now that's the high rise, about 15 floors.
Okay,
That's off a cliff. It's like right off of
yeah,
Clark.
that's that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the name of that one, Stacy?
Kelly Miller Smith Towers.
Okay. I don't know find out what Mother C live. I have no
It's
idea.
called Peggy Ann.
Peggy Ann.
Peggy Ann.
It's Peggy Ann and then something Glenn residence.
Well, she just said,
Something.
wait a minute.
There's 2 buildings over there.
Peggy. No, I'm just.
Praise the Lord, Sister Bush. We'll be back with you in just a minute.
So yeah, so I mean, do we just want to finalize and just do that? I mean, what is everybody thinking?
I mean, you're gonna start it in this quarter. Is that what you're getting all the information? We can start this quarter, but it's gonna go ongoing, right?
No, we're just gonna do like a 30-day drive.
Stacy,
Yes,
it's John Glenn and Peggy Ann.
John Glenn
And Peggy Ann,
and
assisted living.
Peggy.
Yeah, it's 2 different buildings. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Mhm.
Sharon, what I was thinking is, once we find we'll make all the final decisions next week. The board will meet on the 2nd.
Mhm.
And I was thinking just a good 4 weeks of the drive. Because a lot of times if we do longer, people gonna be like dragging their feet to do it.
Right.
So if we do it from like that, you know, the board meet on the 2nd. If we do it that Sunday, I think the 7th of August through like the 7th or 8th of September. And then on that Saturday, it's gonna be more of like, you know, some places got the stuff to bus. We're like doing the boxes and then deliver it that afternoon.
So that's part of the activity we're gonna do that Saturday. That's what you're saying.
Right.
Okay, now what else? What else gonna happen on that Saturday? Just
That was gonna be it.
Nothing.
Okay. Show some.
That's enough.
So the presentation, the third quarter
Yeah.
presentation only be on Sunday.
I wish Sherman was on here to let us know what Sundays. I'm just doing Saturday. He's over Sunday.
Well, the presentation got to come in somewhere, so I was wondering.
Right.
where-
So a couple things that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Trying to check with him to see what Sunday's gonna look like because we don't know if it's gonna be at the House of God. So that's one part of, or where it's gonna be located. Another thing that we talked about last week is some of the committee members were saying, how do we get it for the council members to see it as well? So what we suggested is the council is September the 22nd through to October the 1st. And so what we're trying to see is if with the planning board, is there a possible, because it's in Nashville. Let me change that too. It's in Nashville. So with the planning board, we talked about, is there a way to get with the council and maybe have it show a day or two at the council, like in one of the rooms. So that's where that part comes in at, since it's already done.
Can we charge a fee for that?
Oh, Lord. No.
Can who
Go
charge a
toward the
fee?
boxes?
Can the church charge?
No.
Who's charging the fee? GCT or the board? Like,
The 100-year celebration board.
The workers.
So the
No.
council, what's the dates for the council, you know?
September the 22nd through October the 1st.
Okay, so we have this first, okay.
Right. So that's where that's why I was just trying to figure out, do we want to do it again for our people during this time? Or do we just want to share it during the council?
I think that'll be a good idea for the council to see it, just like we had it in that chapel. I mean, if Sweepy didn't want to do it, I don't know.
So, Stacy, I just found out that Bishop is going to get the projector and the screen in the Lord Sanctuary. That will be available.
Okay. So that will be available, like, okay, is that how we used to have it at the other church?
Exactly.
Okay. So with that, we need to figure out when we can show it.
Exactly.
Well, if the council has a program, then whoever's over that, get permission to do it. And then that could, how they have workshops and stuff.
That's what exactly. That's exactly what I'm
They
saying.
would have
Like,
to schedule a time for that, or let that kind of like we did at the outing. It'd be an option, this is going on at this time, this is going on at that time, and put that in there like that.
Exactly what you're saying, Shatika, or Sister Sweet Pea, or I just call you Sweet Pea.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
sorry.
I'm saying. Everybody on here because
I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm stumbling, and I'm so used to. So that's exactly what we said last week, is during the planning in like those day sessions, like get on there and see what day can we have like a Wednesday or whatever, and what time slot, and let people and have it available just like we did on that last Saturday. And then that'll catch people at our church and the people at the council. And so that's why I was just wondering, thoughts on that, because I talked to Sister Bush last week after the meeting, and she's part of the planning board, or she knows whoever planned for the council. So she's going to check for me to see if that's something we can do. But I was thinking, can we just leave it to that? and do that part on that during the council instead of trying to do it the third quarter. Cause I think everybody at our church who probably was gonna see it probably already saw it. Unless we want to do another something to have people see it. And that's gonna be a hit or miss of who's gonna come out and see it.
My question, Sleepy, you want to say something next? See, you came
Now,
up.
I'm just gonna say that they wouldn't have seen, oh, you're talking about on the council level. Yeah, our people probably would have seen, but then a lot of them haven't. Because
Mhm.
some people may come out to the council, but didn't necessarily come out for the second quarter to see it and may not come out for the third. How are we gonna do
Right.
that? So you're gonna get a varied audience, but that has to be something the council would be interested in. It's a good idea since it's gonna be hosted at, well, our church is a host and we do
Right.
that as a part of that, but that just depends on what the council says.
And that's what I'm waiting for. I already talked to Sister Bush about it. So she's checking with the planning board.
And it's still
about
gonna come back to Bishop because even that has to kind of go through him, that
it.
program.
Right. Sharon, was you gonna say something?
Now, you kind of said it because I know Sister Bush called me to ask me about all that, about the
Oh, okay.
council and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, like I told her, and you all are saying, they're gonna have to put it in the program, and whatever day they say, that's the day we present it.
Right.
Now, I think because of the 100-year celebration, it needed to be presented to us first. That's just me. I think that Sunday to Saturday, we're not gonna do nothing but do what you said, that plan. And Sunday doing that where we at, House of God, the Lord Sanctuary, wherever, it needs to be presented. That's part of the program to me. That's why I see it. And then we know from that, then we have it already ready for the council. It'll be ready for the council then, but I think we need to see it first. That's just
And my experience from the last two times, well, I'll say the second time especially, it was kind of like throw it in at the last minute, kind of gonna do it that afternoon, and it all depends on, like the first time, like they didn't have time to put it in there, even though they asked me to prepare something and I did, they didn't put it in there. The second time, I didn't really worry about it because they didn't do it the second time. Then I got a call to come and do it, so it was kind of like throw it in,
right.
It's just been.
And you're referring to like for that Sunday, right?
That's that Sunday afternoon doing that afternoon service is when it was done on the second half.
And I think what we're running into, even from the program, the conversation last week, we don't know where it's gonna be. Like that's, I think that's our problem, or one of our issues is we don't know the location to be able to do it. To say, okay, it's gonna be on that afternoon program on that Sunday. Like we used to do at 10th Avenue. Like it was so planned out. We knew exactly. But we was indoors as well.
Right.
And so, like you saying, for our people to see it first, like what can we do or what can we offer for our people to see it? And then once again, it's probably gonna be another hit or miss on who's gonna come out.
Well, we have it doing that Sunday. They'll be there to see it. It would be part of the program.
Right, but we don't know where it's gonna be at. It may be outdoors again.
I hope not. Jesus Christ.
That's what I said. I mean, right now, and just looking back at the minutes and everything from the first two, you see I'm picking my words. We can't bank on Sunday.
Right.
Does that make sense? We cannot bank on Sunday because we don't know yet the location. And so if we're gonna do something, it's gonna have to probably be included with the Saturday or outside of us. And so that's why I figured let's do the council part, but that's just
we're gonna still do the council part. That's part.
Right. I just don't want to bank on Sunday.
But for the 100-year celebration, Saturday is all you're gonna do. Saturday is just that, no other activity. What we talked about. We can't do it on Saturday.
I mean, if we want to,
unless we're gonna stretch the activity out longer on Saturday.
Well, if we want to incorporate it into Saturday, what is that gonna look like? I mean,
That's
and
my
this is the
point.
plan.
How
Go
you
ahead.
gonna have the people, how you gonna draw the people there on Saturday? That's to see it. That's what I'm saying, we're doing on Saturday. But if you
Oh,
only
how do we
do,
get people out on Saturday? That's what you're saying?
right, you gotta have some kind of calling card to get them there to
Right.
see it. Because right, so far, you said we're gonna do the activity, the outreach for the nurse, whatever you wanna call it, the resident home, or what you wanna call it,
Right.
that activity, and nothing else. So how are you gonna get the people to come out
I'm
to
out.
see it on Saturday if we
Right.
do this? But my thing is, because of the 100-year, to me, it just need to be done on, if Saturday is not, we're not gonna do any other activity, but where we stated, then it needs to be included in the program on a Sunday. If we're at the house of God, hopefully they'll go early to see if whatever video, whatever we got to show is working. Maybe they'll
Okay.
learn from the first part. Hopefully they will, whoever.
In this, there's a little bit of, in defense to that, partly was our fault that we did not go
Right, that's what I'm saying.
early enough, but that really wasn't the issue. They were having an issue with the internet service in that area on that particular night. Now the information, the videos, whatever, was given to the person in plenty of time, a week. It was like a week ahead of time. And I was told that they were going to go all week long and that they knew the person, and that didn't happen. But even if I hadn't done that, the issue that particular night was a area outage of power. So that was the main thing that was going on at that particular time that really messed that up. And that was beyond our control.
True,
Right.
true. But I think since we know that happened, whoever we need to get with, go ahead, stay behind them and just go before time and see if they can get it to work. They guarantee it's gonna work.
No, they can't. But I'm saying it wasn't the building, it was the whole area.
Had the outage.
Right. It was the outage, the whole area. And the reason, the next following week, it had moved, like, well, Bishop Fred Matthews Church was on Clarksville Highway. They had an issue the week prior to that, the same thing. So it was like an area thing.
Okay.
And
Well,
then
hopefully,
I'm thinking the week after that, over here where we live, ours went out.
well, hopefully they got it straightened out and we'll be able to do it. But Sweepy, even with all that, you still managed to give a report, gave us a history that night, even though we had all that problems. The history was still given. So we're gonna have to just work toward that. Hopefully everything's worked out for them and it's working. And I just think I just need to see it. I'm just saying, this is just me. I just want to see it on Sunday. If we're not doing nothing that Saturday to get the people to come on Saturday, then Sunday, that's when the people are gonna be there. So we need to show it. That need to be part of the program.
Look it up. Mr. Sherman, and we'll get it done.
And I think this is the thing though, what we're gonna have to think about too. We're gonna have to have a plan A and plan B.
Right.
Because this is the thing. I don't know. I mean, and I can check with Sherman, or hopefully he'll be on next week. We don't know the location. And I think that's what's another thing that's kind of stopping.
So the house of God is up in the air.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like nothing is finalized. And so if we do it outside,
they finalized that the first quarter.
That's what I'm saying. So it most definitely is going to have a plan A, plan B, with one, the location, and then two, if we're outside, like that location. And then if the equipment is not working, like what do we do at that point?
Well, like Subi did that evening, she just read
the whole thing, right?
With expression and everything. We didn't have no pictures, but she verbally told us,
And the pictures came in on the very end. They managed to get, and Misha was up there, and she started rolling them.
But we talking about
very end.
Yeah, right. We talking about Sunday evening when you had to be called back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
They told you last minute.
Yeah.
That was told last minute. She had to come on back in to do this. So we didn't have time to get anything ready for that evening because we didn't know they're doing it that evening.
And this was
Right.
was this the first quarter or second quarter?
This is
First quarter,
second quarter.
Second
This is
quarter.
last one, yeah, second quarter.
okay.
So she verbally just read off what the progress and everything. You know, I'm just saying. That's the only other alternative, but I think that I don't know. They just need to find out what we're doing. And then they even had but see, it's too light outside, even to show it outside, it'd be too light.
Right. That was the
Yeah,
issue.
so it's too light outside to even show the video because it's too light. If we was there,
Let me ask the question. How long is the video?
we don't know yet.
How
How long you think?
was probably what, an hour, Sheriff?
The one you did
Last one.
that you have done? Oh, I thought you mean this time you talking about doing. I thought you talking about
No,
you talking
the
about what
last
is already done?
Yeah.
Yeah, about an hour.
Is it about an hour?
Yeah.
And that was because we had personal stories, you know, people got a chance to share their experiences and whatever during El Harris period, that first half. And then we had the pictures, you know, posters and stuff that people got a chance to go around and look at, you know, and talk about. So that's what probably made it go out an hour.
What about this thought right here? Like I said, I just know we can't bank on Sunday at all. I just don't. But I wonder if we have like that Saturday, if we do that outreach and then maybe that night, a night on the lawn and just show it then.
Well, yeah, that's a possibility. But my point of view is even like the last quarter, that evening, we could have been inside. On the Lord's sanctuary, you want to ask my opinion. But how many people was there?
And that's the thing, like we can't go back to that. We just got to figure out what we're gonna do
for
the
how
third
many people was
quarter.
there, we could have went on the inside the Lord's sanctuary and done it.
Right. That's
You
what
know
I said.
what I'm
We have
saying?
to figure out how we're gonna do the third
So if
quarter.
he talking about doing it outside, I know he want to make people ain't, you know what I'm saying? But I think if we said we're gonna show this, and how many? That's 160 seats, and then it's only that place 150, 160 people. The Lord Sanctuary Hall.
It's about 170.
Okay, so I'm just saying, you know, he wants to do stuff outside, but we need equipment, and equipment's inside. We need to go inside where the equipment is. That's what I see.
The screen is in there, the projector, everything.
Yeah,
and I understand that, but you guys been around here long as I have, and you know how that's gonna work out. And if we're gonna do it, we got to start promoting it for people to know that we're doing it.
But
and
like you said again, you gotta find out where we're going Sunday.
Yeah.
We
That's
so
what I'm
last
saying.
minute, we won't find out till the Sunday before it, so.
That's why I said, so if we're really saying that we want to get this out and we want to get our people to see it, how do we make it work for our people to see it and we know that it can be done on that Saturday? That's why I said, I know we said before that it's too light at the afternoon service, but you know, I remember before they did like the movie on the lawn, maybe it could be a night on the lawn and seeing that and have refreshments or something like that for people can actually see it.
Well,
I know that's the other thing. Like,
my thing is first find out where we're gonna be.
Right.
That is, you are sharing.
I know, but he's gonna have to give us some kind of somehow. How you gonna work? We work with zero here. We need to know
and we are, and I think that's the thing. That's why we got to work on what we know is a guarantee. Because all the years,
if he wants to have it outside, we're not going nowhere, but keep it on the property, fine. But we need to let him understand if we give a property, we need to go inside so we can use the projector and the screen. That's my only thing. The service need to be inside, not outside.
Why did they move? Why did they move?
Okay.
Anyway, y'all work that out.
I understand, but you know, I did this for 5-6 years and we never, you know, it was always last minute. And then to try to start promoting it, it's gonna be too late.
Sister, I've been here for years.
So you know, I don't even know
I
why
already
we're
know.
having this conversation.
I already
You
know.
know, so now we just got to work with what we
But
have.
sometimes you just said, try to look, Bishop Mary, we got to know. You want this thing to do what it need to do, you need to tell us, give us information. We can't go on what you think, or if you want to, I might, or whatever. We need to know we're gonna be here on our property. And if so, we're gonna do the 100-year history here in the Lord Sanctuary on Sunday evening. And
Okay, so what's a backup plan?
that's the bottom line right there. Ain't no backup. We're gonna do it right there.
Okay, no, that's not gonna happen. So I guess next week we could come up with a backup plan, because I know that's not gonna happen. I already know.
Well, you ain't gonna have no other plan. What other plan can you have? Ain't none else.
That's why I said, I mean, we can't really bank on Sunday because we've seen what Sunday looks like. And I mean, and if somebody's reading it and they're over it, I mean, I don't like to be caught off guard, and I don't want to put nobody
No,
else.
I'm talking about Sunday using you be able to go inside and use the projector and everything you're supposed to have to really do the history presentation. That's what I'm saying. I ain't talking about just Sunday talking. That's just a backup.
No, what I'm saying is we may not be indoors on Sunday, and that's what I keep saying. We may not be indoors on Sunday.
That's my point. Try to stress that we need to be indoors on Sunday.
Well, we get with Sherman because he's doing Sunday, and I'm doing Saturday,
Yeah.
and so we'll
And I
see
know
what-
he want to stress it.
Yeah, so he's over Sunday and I'm over Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I guess hopefully he'll be on next week and we let him figure out how that could be done. Most definitely, we're trying to work and do the council part of it, at least to have it shown there.
Well, if Sister Bush get with who she need to talk to, they'll probably put it on schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Give her
And
the
hope, and like I
information.
said, and hopefully by next week when we meet, she can give us an update.
Yeah. We know that's gonna be inside.
Right. That's already gonna be, yeah. That's gonna
we
be
already know
indoors.
that's gonna be inside. Okay.
Yeah, that's already said that that's gonna be
Yeah.
indoors.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just don't want to bank on Sunday because I've seen what Sunday look like. Especially not having the final even location and speaker and all that. So I don't want people to be caught off guard doing anything.
Well, we cut off guard.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know. But I mean, I don't want to keep holding everybody.
Yeah.
I think next week, hopefully Sherman will be here to tell us, plans for that Sunday.
Right.
We could have Sister Bush to tell us about the council, and then we could finalize, like I said, I'll check with some other agencies, and if not, I will check with these communities that you guys gave me to see what their needs are, and then we can just see if we can do a drive from there.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Okay, you too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.